Hello everyone and welcome to Plan B Terraform. This is a new series I'm starting today. It's about terraforming in the planet, raising its temperature, adding some water, adding some trees, and growing 3 cities in the process. I've played through a couple times. The end goal of the game is to reach 1 million population. The highest I've gotten is about 600,000, but I think I can hit the million this time. But let's give it a go. Click on play and new planet. There's not a whole lot of options. The only thing you can do is change its name. I'm going to leave it as Odars and hit confirm. Alright, welcome to Odars. This is New Rio de Janeiro, one of our cities that we have. I'm going to go ahead and zoom out so we can see the planet. This is Odars. We have 3 cities on Odars. These cities locations are randomly assigned at the beginning of the map. You cannot change them. So we just have to work with them. We have New Rio de Janeiro in the middle here. We have New Bangkok in the top left, and New Mumbai in the top right. So we'll have those 3 cities to grow. I believe their population right now is 3 people in each city, so we have a total population of 9. Long way from our million population. You can see the population in the top here. Now basically the way the game works is there's levels. If you click on the 0 to 10 here, we're on level 1 right now, which is build 10 extractors and place them on the ground. So that's our current mission. We'll unlock stuff by completing this mission. I don't know what we'll unlock because you can't tell. Right here it says unlock. This is a little confusing. This is what we've unlocked just by being on this level. It's already unlocked. It's not going to be unlocked when we complete level 1. It's already unlocked. So a little confusing, but takes some getting used to. So anyways, this is what we have to work with right now. And on the top right here we have a mini map showing our 3 cities and our world view. If we click on the minerals view here, it changes it to show you where the ore is at, and if we actually zoom out, it changes this map to show the ores as well. We have sulfur. This green stuff is fluorite. We have some iron, and there's aluminum. This white stuff over here is aluminum. So then we can click on the water view. Water view has these white areas will become oceans eventually. And this blue line right now, so we can see right now it's nothing, it's barren, but we can tell in future that this is a low-lying area, it's going to be an ocean. And if we zoom in, we can see these blue lines. These blue lines are eventually going to become rivers. So we want to stay away from building on them because our buildings can get flooded and then they will no longer work. And we'll have to move them. So if we see patches with rivers through them, we might want to use them up first because they will be flooded and unusable in the future. So we have New Rio de Janeiro. I think I'm going to start at New Bangkok. I look for one that makes sure there's no rivers going through it. Looks like there's a river over here to the left. River to the right, but we have plenty of building room in between here. So what works is these cities will eventually start requesting materials, and as we supply them, a constant supply of them, they will start to grow. We'll go over that mechanic when we get there. We can see right now in the top, the temperature is a cold negative 58.1 degrees. So a little chilly right now. Not really pleasant for the people. But so let's get started with the first level, which again was build 10 extractors and place them on the ground. So I'm going to switch to the mineral view here. Zoom out. And we're going to need iron for that for right now. I think I'm going to go with this big patch up here right now, because if we zoom in and click on the water view, you can see there's 2 rivers that are going to eventually run through this. So if I can use this ore up, it's not unlimited. You can click on it and it shows you there's the quantity in the bottom right here of how much is in each patch. So we can use this up before the river's water forms, and we won't have to worry about it anymore because it won't be there. So in order to do stuff right now, all we have is this build menu on the left here. All we can do is extract these 4 buildings right now. These are extractors. These are factories. These factories basically build things out of materials you provide to them. This assembly plant basically assembles stuff and it goes directly into your inventory from there. It cannot get picked up by trains or trucks. It goes right into your inventory, which is basically showing you we have 2 here, we have 6 here. So basically the way it works is you put down the thing, you just tell it what you want on there. Iron ore, we're going to put some extractors around it. I'm going to unpause the game now. And there we go. So now they're going to automatically extract ore, put it on these depots. Then we need a factory. And right now all we can do is produce steel bars, so I guess we'll do that. And they need a depot to put the steel bars on. We got to tell it that's what we want it to store, steel bars. And then an assembly plant. And we wanted this one to do extractors right now. So basically that's the way it works. So right now they'll put ore on here. The factory will turn it into steel bars. The steel bars will get put here. And then this assembly plant will turn them into extractors. But basically we'll do this for each one. We'll get one building extractors, we'll get one building depots, we'll get one building factories, and we'll get one building assembly plants. Okay, so quick overview. This is the production line doing extractors. This is the one doing depots. We kind of went over those already. This production line here is doing factories, and now it just does steel bars, puts them here. This one takes them, turns them into mechanical parts, puts them here. This one eats the mechanical parts and turns them into factories. This line does the same thing, only it does assembly plants. And this line does trucks, which we just unlocked by completing level 2, which was build 5 factories and place them on the ground, which we just did by building these production lines. So next up is level 3, which is reach a population of 10 in your biggest city. You can pick any city you want and start working on it. This also, by completing level 2, we unlocked all this stuff down here. So concrete, roads, trucks, which we just talked about, and supply centers. So that all takes sulfur. So I did the same thing over here. I just did a quick line making this, turns it into concrete, and this turns it into roads. This turns it into concrete, and this is supply centers. I only have 3 extractors in this because we don't need a whole lot of them, so if it produces slow, I don't really care. So we're going to do New Bangkok first and get a population of 10. I think is what it was, 10, right? And there's currently a population of 3 here. You can see down here in the bottom right corner, population 3. So in order to do that, we need to put a supply center there. I don't know if I have one built yet. Let's see. Oh, I have 4, so perfect. So put one down here. They all need a depot. I believe it's going to want concrete, so if we click on this now, click on the supply center, it says it's requesting concrete, insufficient supply right now because it's not getting any right now, an annual supply of 10. So we need to make sure there's 10 per year coming into this depot that the supply center can eat. Once we do that, this city will start growing. So let's get that set up with some roads and truck stops. So to get us growing, we need to deliver concrete to the supply center here. In order to do that, I put down some roads. Just click on roads here. Click once, drag it, click again. Easy enough. So I drag a road all the way down to the sulfur mine, quite a bit of ways. The next thing I do is get it delivered, so hit play here. So just click on the truck. First one is the origin. Second click is the destination, which is right there. we want it to deliver concrete, and there you go. It puts in 2 road stops. Now you can click on this road stop. It brings up the road stop over here. Tells you there's a number of trucks on it, 1 right now. I have 33 available. That's how many I've built. And let's see, does it tell you how many it's going to transport? 2 per minute. 2, and if we click back on the supply center, we need annual supply demand of 10. So we just got to put enough trucks in the line to get 10 of them delivered. So that's 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11. So it took 6 trucks. Looks like I can't read it, it's kind of small print. But so if we come down here, you can look, there's some trucks, they pick up the concrete and travel ever so slowly up the road to this thing. They'll drop them off at the depot, and the drones will load them into the supply center. Now it's satisfactory, so now the town turned green here, and that means it's growing. If you click on here, it says growing, population 3. And as long as we keep supplying concrete, it'll keep growing. So now there's population of 4. I'm not sure, at 5 or 6 it'll spawn a new building. 5, so it must be at 6 that spawns a new building. See, there's 6. Actually, it was at 5, it looks like, but so that it'll keep growing, and it'll get pretty huge once we keep supplying it with stuff. But as we reach new populations, it's going to require more stuff. So we'll let that run for a little bit to get to the 10 people. See, it's turning red already because now it's not enough. White means it's neutral. But that's because now it's asking for a supply of 16. So as the population grows, it's going to ask for more stuff. So you got to be prepared for that. So in order to do that, we just got to click on here and add more trucks. Just take it up to almost 30 per year. So this should stay green for a while now, because we just added a whole bunch of trucks. So they'll deliver the stuff, and it'll start growing. See, it's turning red. Red means it's actually decreasing in population. So you can see here, decreasing, insufficient supply, but once those trucks make their rounds, it'll be fine. There you go. And now we've got to reach population 100 in our biggest city, but we've unlocked all this stuff, aluminum bars, atmospheric extractors. But I'm going to pause it real quick. But now if you click on this, it's requesting oxygen as well as concrete. So we have to get the atmospheric extractors built, which will create oxygen, and then we can have oxygen delivered to the city. So atmospheric extractors require mechanical parts and aluminum bars. Aluminum bars I found over here. Just created a whole bunch of depots. Factories making aluminum bars, and a truck stop. I've started a small hub, probably way overkill, probably more difficult than it needs to be, but so I've got trucks coming from there delivering aluminum bars. I've got trucks up here making mechanical parts, and they're both delivering to this road here, which I'm gonna start basically a hub down here. So basically the way this is going to work is I'm going to have train tracks here and a road here. So trains will come drop off materials, and then the cars will pull them and make the products they need to make. So as we add stuff to it, it'll have all the materials in one spot, so we won't have to go hunting. But anyway, so they're delivering mechanical parts to this truck stop. They're delivering aluminum bars to this truck stop. And these truck stops pick them up and take them to their respective depots here, and then this is making atmospheric extractors. So now that I had that done, I could go over to the city. Sorry, zoom's really sensitive in this game. And I basically started 3 atmospheric extractors. They make carbon and oxygen, and like if you read the description, as long as one's producing it, it doesn't matter if the other one fills up. So Even if I don't touch the carbon, it'll still keep producing oxygen. So then I have a truck delivering 30 to the cities. It's a really short trip, so we won't need a whole lot of trucks, but I'm going to add another one anyway just to be safe. And that should do it for this level. Let's hit play and watch it go. So these will take a minute to produce some oxygen, but right now, as long as we're supplying, we can see we're supplying 50%, so it's not shrinking. Once you go below 50%, I believe the town starts shrinking. But as long as you can keep it occupied or supplied at 50%, it won't lose population, but it won't gain population. So right now, the annual supply demand is 10. We're producing 30 if these ever get to work here. Speed them along. And now you can see we're at 67%. And it should start growing pretty soon here. Because now we got a stockpile of stuff coming in. But this supply is going to go way back up. I think it's going to go up to like, last time I checked it was like 33, I think, for this level. So anyways, now that we're working on that, we'll just wait till their population reaches 100 and see what's unlocked next. Alright, so that's level 4 complete. Here's our nice little city of New Bangkok. Now you can see it will bring up the level thing here. We've reached a population of 100 in our biggest city. We have now done that. We have 103 people here. So we've unlocked polymer bars, depot Mark IIs, reinforced concrete, and high-tech parts. And now our next goal is to reach total population of 350. Now you can do this in any amount. You can do 3 cities at once and each get 120 or something in each city. I like to concentrate on one city at a time, get it all the way up to the max, and then move on to the next city. So Mark II depots are a huge thing in this game. But first let's click on the supply center. Now we can see it requests reinforced concrete instead of concrete. So it's not shrinking because we're still supplying with oxygen. But we can basically change this over to reinforced concrete. We'll lose all those materials, but it is what it is. As well as remove this truck line. Alright, so that's it. So let's Mark II depots require aluminum bars and polymer bars. So I set up a temporary setup here until we get trains unlocked, which I think is the next level. I have a whole bunch of temporary setups just to keep us going. So this is a factory making aluminum bars, atmospheric processors making carbon, into a factory making polymer bars, and then it takes one of each of these and makes a Mark II depot. So Mark II depots have a reach of 2 instead of 1 tile, and it has 2 drones instead of 1. So this has 1 drone, it can only reach 1 tile in each direction. This can reach 2 tiles in each direction, and it has 2 drones. So we can actually add a couple more atmospheric processors here to make these even a little bit faster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that should be enough to keep that going. So that's good there. And then we got to make reinforced concrete. So if I zoom out here, you can see there's an iron patch and a sulfur patch up here. So I put down factory making concrete, factory making steel bars, delivering it to a short truck stop here to a factory's making reinforced concrete. So all we have to do is truck it a super long way from here all the way down this long road. It's going to take a lot of trucks to do this, but until we get trains going, I guess I don't really have another option. And I guess I'll put it here. And we went that moving reinforced concrete. Now it's only moving 1. And we're going to need, I think, about 35. So we're going to have to add a whole bunch of these. I know you can left shift click it, but I only have one hand that works really well, so I just click a lot. So there we go, 35. Add a couple extra for good measure. So they will slowly bring reinforced concrete to here, and that'll start this growing again. It should be able to reach a population of 350 with, I think it's going to be about 35 annual supply. Right now it's only requesting 15, but I think it goes up to like 35. So that's that. Let's watch our city grow now. Okay, so we're just about there. I have it paused so you can see the supply center here. Annual supply is at 34. And if I click on somewhere in the city, we have a population of 330. So it's going to get a like 35, 36 demand before we go to the next level. So let's go ahead and play it out. To 35. There you go, I'm going to pause it. So that completes that. Population 354, 350, so we're good to go there. Now we've unlocked, so I guess with Rails isn't until the next level. That's unfortunate. I was hoping to get there. So next what we got to do is increase the temperature by 1 degree. We've unlocked greenhouse gas generators, which requires mechanical parts and high-tech parts, and SF6, which is basically a greenhouse gas that's going to help raise the temperature of the planet. So let's get to work on those. So another temporary setup for these. First we need high-tech parts manufactured. So high-tech parts are just aluminum bars here. And then these buildings here are just carbon producers, feeding these two factories here, making polymer bars. These two are storing polymer bars. And this factory is making high-tech parts. It's taking from the polymer bars and from the aluminum bars and making high-tech parts. So I just have those off to a truck stop that goes down here, halfway between. This is where we're making mechanical parts. So I just put a factory in between here, actually an assembly plant in between here. And these are trucks are delivering mechanical parts, high-tech parts, and this guy's making greenhouse gas generators. So now that those are made, we need sulfur and fluorite. We have two of them that are relatively close to each other to the left of New Bangkok here. So here's fluorite, so all I gotta do is mine that. So I just put a whole bunch of miners on. The truck stopped delivering down to here. And then sulfur being mined and being delivered up to here. So all we gotta do is put down these greenhouse gas generators, making SF6 gas. Increase the trucks a little bit here. 60 probably. Let's see, how much do one of these use? These use 30 per cycle. So 60 will only run 2 of these, so I've got way too many of these down. We'll have to wait for trains to really increase the production, but we'll go up to 90. There you go, there's one working now. There's 2 working. So we don't have enough to feed all these, so I can probably just get rid of some of them, but we'll just let it go for now. It's already raised at 0.1 degrees, you can see right here. 0.16, so it's going actually pretty quickly, which will be good because I think we can unlock Rails soon, then we can start building a proper factory. Okay, yes, we've done it. We've raised the temperature a whole degree, now it's only a negative 57 degrees. Warming up already. Got a long ways to go before it's even close to considered warm, but if we click on the temperature chart up here, we can see we've started to produce SF6 pressure. It's going to level off eventually, and then we'll have to do some NF3 pressure, but that's a ways away. And our average temperature here, you can see right here, it's just slowly going up. So we'll just let these run in the background, and it'll keep slowly raising the temperature. We don't want to raise it too fast because then water will overwhelm the planet, and it'll bury some of our resources. So we're hopefully going to get to those before that happens. So by completing that, increasing temperature by 1 degree, we've unlocked rails finally. And our next goal is reach a population of 1,000 in our biggest city, which we've almost done already. 957 out of 1,000. So for rails, we have to do, for the trains, it's mechanical parts and high-tech parts, which we were already doing right here. So I just put another one down here, manufacturing trains. And then the rails are made from concrete and steel bars. So that we have up here already. So I just made another one, factory making concrete here. Puts it concrete right here. These are making steel bars. Puts them there, and these two are assembly plants making rails that'll put them right into our inventory. So go ahead and unpause that and let everybody get to work here. So let us start producing rails, and see, there you go, and we just reached our next milestone, which was 1,000 population. So that was pretty easy. So what did that unlock? That unlocked metal waste disposal and recycling center. So we'll check that out in a second here. But so I'm just going to let this run actually for a while, and we're going to replace most of what we've done with rails because they're much more efficient and they're much easier to carry large amounts of stuff with. So this has all just been temporary until now. Let's go check out the city real quick. Here's our lovely city. It's now asking for high-tech parts to be delivered. So it's oxygen and reinforced concrete. Its demand has dropped to 37. And now wants high-tech parts. So we'll have to work on getting those there, but we're going to run train tracks first. And I believe it unlocked, yes, so it unlocked recycling centers as well, which unlocked waste disposal. So waste disposals work just like the supply centers. You have to attach them to the city, and instead of putting stuff into the city, they take stuff out of the city. So this city will start producing metal waste that will have to be removed. Otherwise, the city will stop growing. So I think that's going to do it for this episode. In between episodes, I'm going to replace most of this road with train tracks so we can hit the ground running. There's no sense you watching me sit here for an hour and replace all this stuff. So I will have it up and running by the time the next episode comes along, and that way we can hit the ground running and move on to our next objective, which is increase the temperature by 10 degrees. So we'll have to add some more greenhouse gas generators, but first let's do the railroads, and then we can start working on that. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.